there Star Wars collectors, and welcome to another Bossk Bounty video. And in this video we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars The Legacy Collection ARC-170 fighter from the Clone Wars. Now this was actually kindly gifted to me by a channel member by the name of Nino, so thanks once again Nino, I really do appreciate it. And another buddy of mine, Tyler from the SWTVC, watched that video and he said that version that you have there is the Imperial version, like the Shadow version, and it's actually quite difficult to get hold of these days. So once again, thanks so much Nino, I really do appreciate it. He did mention when he gifted it me that it is missing a couple of the missiles and things like that, and it is open. I'm not bothered about that at all. This is going to look great in the collection, so as I said Nino, thank you so much. We're going to take a look at the box in a moment. Yeah, so apparently this is the Shadow version, or the Imperial version, which is really cool actually, because it's like that crossover, isn't it, from the clones to Imperials and things like that. So that's awesome. We're going to take a look at it right now. Let's take a look at the box. Let's get Bossk out of the way. So the box looks awesome. The artwork that they used to do for these Legacy Collection boxes is really cool. You've got the 3 clones there in the top right corner. You've got Star Wars The Clone Wars. Then a really big image of the sort of ARC-170 with some graphics in the background. And you can see there that the package converts into a diorama, which is pretty cool as well. See bottom for details, which we'll check out in a second. ARC-170 there. Few little warnings in the bottom right. The back of the box shows you the toy itself and some of the features that come with it, including the firing cannons and the cockpit that fits 2 figures, swing down handle to drop torpedoes, and opening wings, things like that. So that's really cool. There is also a bit of detail here which says the ARC-170 Aggressive Reconnaissance was originally designed and developed by the Republic for assault and recon operations against separatist forces. Built for stamina rather than speed, this heavy combat fighter is armed with laser cannons and proton torpedoes and can muscle its way deep into enemy territory. But with the rise of Palpatine's new galactic empire, the fighter is modified to serve a new and more sinister cause. This particular ARC-170 has been customized by its Imperial Shadow Squadron crew, who are hunting down pro-Republic remnants at the end of the Clone Wars. That is just awesome. And you can see on the side there, you've got some of the other vehicles that were available. Clone Turbo Tank. Might see a review of that on the channel very soon. Obi-Wan Kenobi Starfighter, and then also an Armoured Assault Tank, the AAT, which is great. As I mentioned earlier, the box does double as a diorama piece, and on the bottom there, like they said, it shows you how you can use that. Alright then, so it's all built, and I've just put Bossk there purely for scale purposes, just so you can see how big this vehicle is. That is a 3.75 inch figure. This thing is absolutely massive. Of course, if you have one of these in your collection already, then you know how big and awesome this particular vehicle is. And I'm just going to sort of sit there and marvel at it just for a second before I go over some of the details. It's got a few play features to talk about. I'm loving the deco on this particular version. As I said, this is like the Imperial version. You can see the Imperial cog there on the back. I'm loving that. And yeah, it's a little bit different to the one that was in the Revenge of the Sith, which is like more of a white colour. This is like a grey with a darker grey. And I'm just loving that sort of crossover with the, as I say, with the Imperials. That's awesome. In terms of the play features, as mentioned on the back of the box, you've got the missile launchers here, which hang below the wings. Obviously, the cockpit opens. You can put 2 figures in there. You can put a droid in the back just there. The rear cannon moves around and goes up and down as well. And then the best thing about this thing, because it is so big, you have these bay doors on the bottom which open out, and then you can pull out the handle, which is a great play feature because then you can hold it like so and fly it around and swish it around and things like that. It's going to be very difficult to do with the camera, but I'm trying to sort of show you as best as I can. And then, of course, the wings do open out as well. So that lifts up on the top and on the bottom. You can do that on both sides. So there it is with its wings open. Really cool. Very reminiscent of like an early X-Wing design kind of thing, but with the double cockpit there, which is awesome. I do like as well that on the bottom you do have the Imperial cogs once again on the bottom of the wings, and the handle also doubles as a firing mechanism, so it does have a trigger on there, and when you press that trigger this little panel opens up like so, and then some bombs would drop out of there. But as Nino says, you know, those sorts of things are missing, which means it's been played with, which is awesome. So I'm just going to put those doors back so you can see it in all its glory again. It's going to look great on display. Now, before I knew which version of the ARC-170 I had, I was planning to use this guy as the pilot. This is Oddball from the Vintage Collection, and he would have been, you know, absolutely perfect if this was a Revenge of the Sith version of the ARC-170. But as it's not, it's the Shadow version, the Imperial version, and you can actually get the figures for it. I think they came out in the Revenge of the Sith line, and then I think they're repacked later on as well. So I'm definitely going to have to try and find myself a couple of those pilots on eBay or something. I'm sure I'll be able to pick them up for this because, you know, I do want the correct pilots to go in those two there. Just to show you the cockpit. That does open up like so, and then you can see inside you've got the two seats. Just like in the film and the Clone Wars and what have you. And let's just put Oddball in there now just to see if just to see how he fits in, so you can see. There you go. Absolutely perfect. Oddball sits in there very nicely indeed. So I need two of the black version or Shadow version of him. Now you probably remember from earlier on that it did say a droid can fit into the back. So what I've done is I've just got myself this one, which was the first one I had to hand. This was the one with the bar and the drinks and everything from the Droid Factory, but it is a builder droid. So I figured that this would probably be the right size. So let's just check it out, see if he goes in. And there you go, he sits in there perfectly. So I'm going to have to work out which droid I need to get to have this screen accurate to go along with the like Shadow pilots. And then I can sort of, you know, create that scene with the ARC-170 as best as I possibly can. But once again, Nino, thank you so much for the amazing gift. I'm going to treasure this. This looks great. I've always wanted one of these in my collection. Got to figure out where I'm going to put it, mind. But I'm sure I can find a space for it, no problem. So once again, thank you, buddy. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you own one of these ARC-170s? And if you do, which version do you own? And yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. And thank you to my Patreon supporters and channel members. Your support means a great deal to me as always. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we shall see you on the next one.